Everyone tells you to buy real estate in order to create wealth, but nobody tells you that it's going to take you more than one lifetime to actually have something and some value. I'm telling you, in 2026, building is the fastest way to create generational wealth. This behind me is a $1.6 million fourplex. We're in it a total of $1 million with land plus construction, and I'm going to show you exactly how we do this. This project, we bought the land for $319,900. Our rough construction budget is about $700,000. And then the down payment, because we get a hard money lender or a private lender that gives us 90% of that cost, we bring down 10% plus the closing costs. We're into this at $111,000 for the down payment. With the value of 1.6, you're coming into this deal, whether you're gonna keep it as a full rental, live in one unit, rent out the other 3 units, or sell it on the open market, you have several $100,000 of equity in this deal. The beautiful thing is you're creating or you're forcing that equity by building out this real estate. I'm not a builder, I'm not a licensed contractor. And when you're fighting inflation and other things like that, in new construction or development, because you have so much room or so much cushion, that 1, 2, 3, 5% inflation rate doesn't really affect you. This works on any type of real estate product that you're building. For example, single family home, duplex, triplex, fourplex, sixplex, even multifamily. At the end of the day, you want to make sure your cost basis is at least lower by 25% on that total value, so you have enough equity or cushion for you to make sure you're profitable or you're cash flowing on your rental. When buying real estate, you have to understand you're not getting, let's say, market value. For example, this is worth $400,000. If you go buy it for $400,000, you bring your down payment. What you have to do is add your closing costs, add your lender fees, everything on top. So let's say you ended up buying it $400 plus closing costs is now $410,000. Well, if you turn around and you realize, I don't want this anymore, I want to sell it within the next 2-3 months. You list it for sale on the market for $400,000, you're going to end up netting minus 5% for agent fees, taxes, etc. Well, 5% agent commissions, and then 1 or 2% for the closing costs. On $400,000, reduce $20,000, you'll net $380 in your pocket. It actually costs you $410. You're losing $30,000, meaning you actually have negative equity when you move into this property. That's not the American dream. Buying real estate and coming in with negative equity, nobody wants to do that. But rather coming into a brand new, fresh home and having that equity of 10 to 20, 30%, 100,000, 50,000, 200,000 of equity, and understanding that you could sell this at any time and your family could pocket a profit, that's the American dream. When buying versus building, I'm gonna compare the two different strategies and what that looks like for you. So for example, when you're buying real estate, you can move into the house within 30 days, right? You get what you get, whatever you have, you move into the home, you have yourself that home. Whether it's an old home, a new home, remodeled, or just as is, you have that home. On the build side, it does take more time. You've got to acquire the land. Once you go through that, you get the funding. The builder builds the project out for you. You could be moving in as soon as 6 months up to 12 months into this beautiful home. The difference is buying, it's pretty much instant. Building, it takes time. But section number 2 is much more important. When it comes to the equity side of things, as I already mentioned, this one that you got in 30 days, you lost $30,000. So the 30 days, $30,000, $1,000 a day. But now you're stuck with negative equity and you're hoping one day in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, it's gonna appreciate. Here, moving into a new construction home that you've built, whether it's a duplex, a single family, doesn't matter. You're coming in with at least minimally 20% of equity. My students, I have over 230 units. It's across about 150 students between 1 and 3 units. They all have minimum 20% equity or higher, meaning on a $500,000 house, they're gonna have at least $100,000 of equity. So take any home that you're buying, take 20% of that and consider that your discount or your equity. So if I'm looking at a $700,000 house, remove $140,000, that should be your cost. If I'm looking at a $1 million house, remove 20%, which would be $200,000. Now you're looking at that type of product. If I'm looking at a $500,000 house, remove 20%, which would be $100,000. You're having a $400,000 cost worth $500,000. To me, that alone, the time is worth that money. That's more than the average salary in the workspace. Then you have the third section. You're framing out a new construction home. You can add any custom features that you want. Some features might cost you some money, some may not. So if you do $10,000 in upgrades, you're still gonna have $90,000 of equity if it was originally 100. For example, when I frame a house, I do 10-foot first floor, 9-foot second floor. I do arches in all the different areas. I do custom cabinets. They don't cost much more. I'm just very smart with how I lay out my cabinets. I have custom floating shelves. I have tiles that I get to choose the colors that I'd like, paint colors, siding, you name it. You get to customize your build. You can do builder grade. So there's a spec builder that builds builder grade. You still can change your countertop colors. You can choose your paint colors, your siding style. You can choose your own floor plan. There's still so many things you can do within a builder grade plan. And then you can add some custom features if you'd like. For example, you want a sauna in the back or whatever else, you can decide, hey, it's gonna be this much more. Do I want that? But here's what happens. When you do custom features, what happens to the price? It also goes up. So myself personally, I built a home and I spent around $100,000 more on finishes, floor plan, landscaping, everything else. It came in and it appraised $120,000 more. So technically, yes, it was almost a wash, but now I get a beautiful dream house that I want and an extra $20,000 on top of equity, on top of my $250,000. Now, with the market, it may end up selling way more because somebody might fall in love with my home, my plan, my custom finishes, and you have that advantage. So you being able to customize rather than buying a house that's negative $30K equity and then you want to go and make changes, that just pushes you further down the line with negative equity because the paint color is not going to change the value of the property. But when you're doing custom or when you're building your own, the paint color is the same. Whether you're doing blue, pink, white, purple, it doesn't matter. It's still the same cost. So having to understand that those things that are a standard cost on the spec side are going to be an additional cost when you're buying on the market. And lastly, this may be the most important one, is you actually have a smaller balance on your mortgage, meaning you get a lesser mortgage payment. If a house sells for $700,000, you went and bought it on the market. You're gonna have a mortgage, let's say you put 5% down or 2.5% down. You're gonna have a mortgage of roughly, let's say $670,000 plus or minus. And so $670,000 loan balance. Well, if it costs me $500,000, the bank's giving me 95%. My loan is $475,000. $670,000 or $475,000, who's gonna have a lesser payment? You're talking like 20, 30% smaller payment. That's a massive difference. So here you have a massive payment, no equity. Here you have a smaller payment, massive equity. If I was you, I'd be on this side. Like I wanna create, for example, my home, my payment on my home, if somebody was to buy new, on the market would be about $7,500. I pay $3,700 and I'm sitting at $300,000 of equity. If for some reason my $3,700 payment, I didn't want it anymore, I'm like, I wanna have no payment, I wanna sell, I can sell, have that profit and get rid of my payment versus somebody that might have a $7,000 or $8,000 payment and they're stuck with a house that has negative $100,000 of equity because it's worth 1.2, 1.3 million. That right there alone is a game changer. And when it comes to the mortgage side, yes, you have advantages on both sides. But here, you're paying down principal and interest. It's a smaller amount of interest because it's a smaller balance. It's a tax deductible. You can write off the interest, write off the property tax, etc. So it's beautiful that you have yourself a much bigger home with much more advantages like equity, payments, etc. If you're enjoying this video so far and it's resonating with you and you're now realizing buying real estate, that's not the game for wealth, building is, we have an entire program set for you. It's called the Build Up Challenge. We work with you alongside you for an entire year, help you execute on your first or next build. If you'd like to jump on a call with my team and see if you qualify, hit that link below and let's jump back to the video. There's two more massive advantages that I haven't even mentioned yet. When you build a house and you have $200,000 of equity, what can you actually do when there's equity? Most people don't pull this off until 20 years of owning a house. Well, within 1 to 2 years, you've created the $200,000 of equity. You go to your local credit union and you pull a line of credit. Now you have $200,000 in the form of a line of credit for you to go do whatever you'd like to with this equity. Most people can't do that for 20 years. Then secondly, there is a tax-free code. If you make $200,000 of profit, let's say you're like, oh, I decided to sell. At least live in there for 2 years. Now you're exempt from the profit, meaning you could sell this house, make $200,000. It'll be tax-free. You don't have to pay any taxes on it, especially if you're single, $250,000. If you're married, up to $500,000. Buying a house, you can't create $200,000 of equity. That happens over a 20, 30 year period. Here, you create that equity. You could take it tax-free. If you decide you don't want to sell it, you got a HELOC, you pull that, and now you're playing a game. I built and sold my first house. I took that tax-free profit, and then I went and built a multifamily apartment unit and scaled from there. Because I sold the apartment unit, yes, I had to pay my taxes on that, but the personal house game and that first home gave me a huge jump to get into this real estate game. And now I'm gonna be on my third house. Each one of them is $200,000 to $300,000 of tax-free profit. That's a massive number, especially when you're in different tax brackets. Some have to pay 45% on the gain. In this case, the IRS allows you to live in your beautiful home for a couple years and take the tax-free profit. And we haven't even covered the rental side of this game. Imagine building rentals and creating 20 to 30% equity per home. You're even doing your own developments, creating 8 new lots and building 8 new rentals. I don't have time to jump into it for this video, but if you're interested in this game, you like this video so far, and you're ready to start building wealth, click that link below, book a call with my team. We'll go through the entire process start to finish. And if you're on a personalized mentorship with me, you'll have my cell phone number. I'll be in a group chat with you, and we'll be jumping on weekly Zoom calls. As always, let's build up.